John Silva initially missed weight by a pound at UFC 314's weigh-ins and appeared visibly irritated on the scale.
It looks like he's a little over. Where's Fabiano when we need him?
147.
Pound over.
147 for Jean Silva. That
Who's
is
he yelling at?
What do you think he's saying?
He's saying the
Is he yelling at his
wrong.
nutritionist?
I just made that up.
Yo, that's crazy. He looks so confident on the scale.
But he doesn't seem like that depleted.
Now
though.
he put his short.
Oh, he's
tights
mad.
on. Why is he so?
He is really pissed off. Where is Fabiano?
Silva reportedly said, "It's not over. I'm coming back to make weight," and then directly called out Bryce Mitchell. He later returned and successfully made weight on his second attempt.
146.
Oh, he made it. He made it.
All right.
So they must have put the weight at 145 to start. That's why it kicked up. You see the guys that fight for the belts? They weigh in right away. I mean, look at him.
Bryce Mitchell, who hit the mark on his first try, and the fight is official. Bryce Mitchell believes Silva is far too overconfident heading into their fight. During their fiery face-off at the press conference, Bryce said, "I absolutely love the press conference. I feel like the Holy Spirit was speaking through me. With my eyes, I conveyed the message that I'm ready to die, and I'm ready to kill. And I said everything that I needed to in that face-off with my eyes alone. He couldn't possibly make me react. There's absolutely nothing that a man can do to instill any fear into me. I have the Holy Spirit in the Lord, and fear is not an option. I'm fighting him with the full force of the Lord inside my heart. The true Lord. I see overconfidence. I see the younger man that I used to be." Ahead of his fight with Diego Lopes, Alexander Volkanovski addressed critics who claim he's only driven because of recent losses. Volk admitted he understands why people think he's past his prime, but emphasized that his motivation goes much deeper. He's accepted being doubted and is looking forward to proving everyone wrong.
The hunger's there, and a lot of people are going to go, it's coming down, oh, it's because you lost and you want to get their wins back. It's not, it's more than that. I can't explain it. Hopefully I'll get a better understanding of it, and I'll explain that more. But it isn't just because I'm coming off losses. That's not what the hunger is. It's so much more than that. It's a lot deeper than that. But I can't break that down right now. I can't tell you exactly how. There is, like, I love being in this position. I guess I used to care more about it, where I felt like I had to prove, had to prove it to everyone, and I guess I didn't like that I had to prove, even though so I liked being in that situation, but didn't like the fact that I was the underdog. Where now I accept that, like, I don't think I'm the underdog, but there's a lot of people doubting me, right? And I am fine with that. I feel like I want to prove them wrong, so I'm in that same position where I want to prove them wrong, but I'm like, I'm not upset that they feel that way anyway. It's like, you have every right to think that. I'm coming off 2 losses. I'm older. You think I'm done. I'm like, yeah, you've got every right to think that. And I won't change your mind till I show you this weekend. And I don't know. It's like, I can't. I'm happy to show you. Like, it's I'm happy. I'm happy you're doubting me.
Ariel Helwani went off on PFL executive Donn Davis following GFL's apparent collapse. Ariel posted that the GFL's story is essentially over and highlighted a deeper issue: the declining state of non-UFC MMA promotions. PFL isn't paying what they used to. Bellator is gone. One is struggling to retain talent, and GFL was seen as the next big thing, but fizzled out.
There's a greater story here as well. Like, I think, could they get one? Maybe, but like, honestly, that would be shocking to me at this point. To me, it's a story that has come and gone. The GFL, that is.
What would one?
And there's the greater story.
Are you saying one event or one investment?
He just wants to survive. Like, he just wants to. This is his reputation. Who knows if he can work in combat sports again? And this is a guy who has worked in combat sports for many, many years, had World Series of Fighting Canada and had a Canadian promotion and all this stuff. The bigger question is the state of the MMA business. We know what the MMA business is. It's the UFC. They are the top dog. But the MMA business has always had a 2, 3, 4, and 5. That does not exist. PFL isn't paying as much as they once did. The Bellator #2 brand doesn't exist. One isn't paying nearly as much for MMA fighters. GFL was that hope. It doesn't exist. And that's not good.
Michael Chandler said he's simply too much for Paddy Pimblett. He stated his experience, cardio, and pressure will overwhelm Paddy, and this fight is his chance to prove he still belongs at the top.
I just think my skill set is just too much. I think my pressure is too much. My cardio, the champion mentality that I have had since I was 14 years old, I think is just too much. Not that he doesn't have a bright future, not that he hasn't earned it to a certain degree, but he hasn't earned a win on Saturday night compared to me. He's decent. I mean, I think, he's not, he's not ranked or have the strength of schedule like the guys I have fought, but I've been saying it a couple times now. Like, it's like the absence of a strong schedule is not the presence of weakness. There's not the presence of cowardice. It's not like he hasn't wanted to fight one of the top guys. He had to build himself and get into this position, and now he is in this position where either he sinks or swims. This is his opportunity to prove himself, and this is my opportunity to prove myself and prove myself to the MMA fan base, the UFC fans out there, that I'm still one of the forces to be reckoned with in the top of the lightweight division. I think the way that I beat Paddy and the way that I think I'm going to, whether it's a just surgical and systematic breaking down of another human, or it's an absolute domination, quick, fast knockout, it's going to be something spectacular. And I think it's going to continue to prove that there's levels to this game. There's going to continue to prove that just because we're all in the UFC doesn't mean we're not all on the same level. And that's nothing against him. I just believe in the calling on my life. And I think when I do what I'm going to do on Saturday night, people are going to continue to talk about me being one of the best lightweights in the world, and we got a crazy division with a bunch of movement happening, so we'll see what happens.
The back and forth between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev continued online. Pereira posted about recharging his spirit with ancestral energy. Ankalaev responded, dismissing the post and saying that kind of stuff won't work on him. Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman were seen sparring at Kill Cliff Gym, showing mutual respect and sharpening each other ahead of future challenges. Colby Covington reignited his rivalry with Alexander Volkanovski, trashing him in a recent interview. Today, in an interview with Main Event TV, Colby said, "I'm going to have to go with the emo haircut-looking dude Lopes. I think he's younger, he's hungrier. I think that Volk's just coming back for a paycheck. I think the emo kid beats him. He was looking for the Islam Makhachev fight just to get paid. I think he's just cash grabbing. He's just looking to fight for money. He's not looking to fight for legacy anymore. He's already built his legacy in his mind. And now he just wants to get paid. He's got a lot of mouths to feed. He's got 3 daughters. And you could tell he wasn't happy about his last daughter. We'll see if he keeps trying to get a boy." And that's all for today's MMA news. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to hit subscribe and click the bell icon for daily updates from all MMA talks. And if you missed the previous update, click the video on screen to catch up.